Hi, Frank here, and today's January 10th, 2021. And we'll draw up a zombie, and we'll start with the top of the head, and then we'll move down. Right now, I'm just visualizing the skull of the zombie, and you could just round it out. It doesn't have to be exact. You could put a couple pieces of hair in there. And with my animated series City of Rot, the animated films, I would first draw it on paper, and then from the paper you would transfer that into the computer. I would scan it in, and then I would just add the colors in the computer. So with this zombie, let's see, I'll create the eye socket, and it should be concave, so it's like pressed in because the zombie is decaying, so the skin gets really thin on an older zombie. So that's what I'm working on here. Just trying to get the right look for it. And this eye, I could put the eyeball like that, have it stick out a little bit for the eyeball, and then just erase that part there. So this particular zombie, I could give him a nose, but I always like zombies that are so decayed that their nose has fallen off. And I did have a number of those in the City of Rot films. And this could be for a new animated zombie film. I had a whole script and all ideas for a new zombie film, but when I came back to it, I decided it wasn't quite what I was going for, so I put that on hold for now, but I could always come back to it. But I wrote the whole script from beginning to end, and it took about a month to finish the script. Now for the teeth, you could have just like all mangled, sharp teeth that would allow the zombie to chew its food better. And then you could have like the one thing to keep in mind is if this is going to be a zombie for animation, keep the jaw separate. So what I'll do here is I'm just going to draw the bottom part of the jaw. I'm sorry, the top part of the jaw, and then for the bottom half I'll just leave that empty. So what I'll do here is the zombie would have sort of like an ear that used to be there. This would be all rotted out there. And then on an older creature, humanoid, they have a lot of wrinkles. One thing to keep in mind is I don't want to have the wrinkles too parallel to each other, because that can make it look unnatural and a little more artificial. So by making the wrinkles more random in their position and shape, then you could get more natural looking wrinkles for the zombie. And right now I'm just thinking of a zombie with just blank white eyes. You could put like red eyes or blank eyes or like fish eyes that have turned gray. That's kind of what I'll go for here. Now for the nose, I'm just going to fill this in right now. If I do the paint bucket tool, it'll fill it in, but it'll leave the edges uncompleted. So I'll just do that now. And then one other thing that you want to keep in mind if you're doing an animated zombie film, like when I did for the zombies in City of Rot and City of Rot Otherworld, and of course Dead Fury had zombies, but they were more like zombie demons. Still though, they were kind of like zombies, but they weren't true zombies because they were more like Evil Dead. They could talk and use weapons and stuff, so they weren't really true zombies. But I did reuse them for City of Rot Otherworld, and I didn't make them demons, I made them zombies. I thought the detail in them was so good, I just wanted to have like a finale for the zombies. But as I was saying, one thing to keep in mind with when you're animating a zombie is if it's going to be reversed. Like if you have this zombie face and reverse it, what would that reverse look like? So let's say you made this face and then you had one side have one eye missing and the other side had the eye. The challenge with that is every time the zombie flips and looks the other way, his eyeball will shift from where it used to be and then reverse. So that wouldn't work too well unless you didn't care about continuity or anything. Like I did a little joke for the character Fred, because I made that mistake early on. I put one of his pocket protectors, the little black pocket protector for his pens, inside his front pocket on his shirt in one of the pockets, and I forgot to realize that when I reverse him it'll be in the other pocket. So within the first film City of Rot back in 2005-2006 when I was creating it, I decided during one of the action scenes to have Fred pull his pocket protector out of his one pocket and put it in the other one as like a little joke to the animation. If you really pay attention, you'll see it reverses to the next pocket even though he didn't move it on his own. So it's kind of like a little nod to anyone who paid attention to stuff like that. But here we go, we're just adding a lot of wrinkles and marks and stuff like that. Now you can make this cell animated in terms of the look of it. That's one thing I want to say about like classic cell animation for animated series and cartoons from the 1980s and even I guess modern times. Like when you draw frame by frame the whole character all over again and you're putting this much detail into it, I don't even know how they began to track all that detail, because that's so much to focus in on. I mean, drawing the form is one thing, but then having to draw all the other stuff, that's unbelievable. And with the neck of the zombie, I usually like to make it a little not too thin, because then it'll look a little weird if it's too thin. So we're getting there, we're almost finished. And as far as a new zombie series, I have some ideas. One thing I want to expand on is to try to come up with some new ideas. And I do have some ideas in mind, rather than just keep doing the same concept over and over. You try to add something new to it, something original, but still something really interesting for the zombie genre. So with this, let's finish this up. I'll just, for this mouse, paint this in really quick. See how that, oh wow, that outline's unbelievable. I wonder why it's so left out there. Usually it's just so subtle, but that's a lot. Probably the pen is too, yeah, that's pretty bad. The pen is just not covering all that. It's too smooth on the edges. If it has rougher edges, it'll fill in much better. Because if it's too smooth, that means the pixels are blending too far out. So there's our zombie, and then we'll just draw the jaw quickly. And to draw the jaw, you just visualize what it would look like next to the upper mouth, and then you could add a little bit of a upper part there. And one thing I have to be careful is make the jaw far enough down so when I place it onto the character, it'll cover this black area. See, this went too far down here. So I can fix that later on. I don't have to worry about it right now. When I bring it into the photo editor program, like Photoshop or GIMP or something along those lines, I could just fix it in there. So here we have the gums of the zombie, and you could add blood or whatever you want, but let's just keep it simple and get right to the point. So there we go. Just add some quick details and add a little bit of line to the teeth. But that's about it for now. And what we can do is paint this in really quick. Let's hope it's not as bad as that dark part over there. Zombies can be like greenish. There, that worked out. And their teeth could be like a yellowish color. Make sure you get inside the teeth, otherwise it'll paint everything. Go back later and add the detail later. the shading and all of that. But I don't want to forget the eyes. So let's get those right now. There we go. I could visualize how this would be shaded in. So that's our zombie, and thanks for watching. Feel free to comment and subscribe if you like. And thanks for watching. Have a good day.